Hello everyone, odedex here. Welcome to another video tutorial. This time around I'm going to show you how you can create a primarily based Redpower blaze farmer that will farm blazes for you automatically and also collect blaze rods. Now before explaining any further, we can hopefully wait for a blaze to spawn, there we go, and see it in action. As soon as the blaze spawns, it's being killed, and hopefully it will also drop a blaze rod. Didn't this time. Alright, so before any further explanation, I'd like to shout out to NipsuGamer, who commented on one of my Let's Play videos and gave me this idea. Basically, the entire trick here is that the blaze will only drop a blaze rod if the player manually kills it. Now, if the player does manually kill it, it will never drop a blaze rod, compared to a small chance to dropping one. But when you use a deployer loaded with snowballs, it acts as if a player killed the blaze. So there you go. It gives you a chance to drop the blaze rod. Alright, so let's go to a little bit more further explanation. And I'm going to turn the game into peaceful for that. So what I have here is basically a 5x5x5 cube with a hollow 3x3x3. In the top middle I have the blaze spawner. Now, if you're gonna do it on survival, you're gonna need to use some trickery in order to get the blaze spawner here, either with Shadow Dragon's soul shards, or with a gravity gun, or any other type of mischief you can come up with, or you can simply build this trap around an existing spawner, but that will be significantly harder, I think. So the spawner is in the middle. On the ground, I have 7 stone pressure plates, and it's important that these are stone pressure plates and not wooden, because anything on the ground will trigger them otherwise. And the moment the blaze spawns, usually it might float in the air, but eventually it will go down, land on those pressure plates. The moment he does, he gets barraged by snowballs until he dies. The moment he dies, the mechanism turns off. Also, I have 2 transposers here, so the moment any of those pressure plates triggers, it also triggers transposers. So let's go into further explanation on how it works from the outside. So on the bottom I have this small array of red alloy wire per each pressure plate linking into a NOT gate. That NOT gate is currently locking a timer set to 1 second intervals, which once the NOT gate is being unlocked from a constant redstone signal will allow the timer to tick, sending basically 1 second ticks every 1 second into those deployers, shooting out snowballs. And this tube system is currently connected to a relay pushing out snowballs. Now this is why I said mostly Redpower trap, because up until this point this has only been Redpower. Now in order to get some sort of snowballs loaded into your system, then you're going to probably have to use some different mod or some other very complicated system to do it. Specifically, I'm using thermal expansion and buildcraft to create a lot of snowballs with some buildcraft energy. That will simply push snowballs inside the system. So let's see how you build it from scratch. I'm going to build it right side by side. I'm going to slightly elevate it off the ground, so I'm going to get some more dirt. So let's go, I'm going to go for a similar build, so I'm going to elevate it twice from the ground and go for, again, that 5x5 design. Alright, so I got to a point where I have this 5x5, I'm using dirt, you can use whatever you want, area with the edges elevated like so. Now you're gonna want to be placing some deployers. Now if you can actually also use dispensers, but you're gonna have to route them differently, because dispensers don't know how to take redstone signals from redstone tubes. So they will require significantly more complicated wiring, or not that harder, but it will require different wiring. So this is why I'm using deployers. Now also you're going to have to be placing your deployers perpendicular to each other. They can't be on the opposite sides, so I'm going to be placing pretty similar to what I have in my original contraption, like this, 3 and 3. You're going to have to cover your entire area. So if you go for a 6x6 with a hollow 4x4, you're going to need to go for 4 deployers and 4 deployers, and so on. Now I'm going to be placing some glass so I can see what's happening from the outside. You don't have to, of course, just for the show. And I'm going to complete the building. Alright, so I'm finishing the rest of the building. Now you're gonna be placing your spawner hopefully in the middle of the room, like so, with basically air all around it and 2 blocks below it. So there is some places they can float around and then fall down. And again, I'm gonna go for the same design with the transposers. You can basically also go for one transposer in the middle if you want, but I like to go like this. I don't know, feels a little bit more efficient maybe. And the pressure plates all around, and make a hole to go outside. Again, I'm also building it on peaceful, so it's a lot easier for me to do it. Of course, if it would be on normal and there would be blazes all around, it will be a little bit different. But then again, I have the convenience of doing it on a test world. So I'm going to be placing my alloy wire like this. And this is unnecessary at the moment. So the alloy wire will come up, and you're going to need a NOT gate or a NOR gate, basically, doesn't matter, any of those, just to invert the result of the input, and into a timer gate. Where is my timer? Like this. Oops, wrong gate. Timer. And I'm going to set it again to 1 second. And then I'm going to use some alloy wire, some jacketed wire, to change the signal from an alloy to a tube, redstone tubes all around to be feeding everything. And here I'm going to temporarily connect it just to some sort again of probably a relay, something temporary, nothing too special. Of course, if you want to completely automate it, you're going to require some sort of snowball generation. And I'm also going to connect these two transposers together to some sort of an output chest, so you can actually benefit from them dying. And pretty much the only thing left to do is load everything with snowballs. So I'm gonna quickly do that. Placing a relay instead of a deployer would have been helpful. Okay, so everything is loaded with snowballs. And by the way, if you don't know, a relay is a Redpower block that basically acts some sort of like a buffer, but it will also actively push items into a tube network if it has an inventory place to go. So right now, let's add some more snowballs. Starting to push snowballs into the system. The last inventory space has exactly room for 2 stacks, but I have 3 stacks in the system. All 3 of them recognize an empty inventory, but the moment these 2 enter, this one gets bounced back. So this is a small lesson about relays if you don't know how they work. Now, pretty much this is ready. I have this entire system ready, except for snowball generation, but I'm going to skip that for now. So let's turn the game back to normal, see that it works. Now, I'm going to have to, that's the only drawback of that system, that I actually have to be in the vicinity of the spawner to work. That's basically a vanilla rule. A spawner, any type of spawner will not work unless a player is within 16 blocks of it. So this is something you have to keep in mind creating this trap. This blaze refuses to spawn, yet I'm on... Okay, there we go. You landed on the pressure plates. Yeah, sometimes they're gonna land on the transposer. Don't worry. Either they move on their own, or simply another one will spawn and kill both of them. Like this. There we go, one of them died. The other one is also dying. Did I get any blaze rods? Nope. Yeah, but there's still some lying on the ground. So the moment the next blaze spawns, it's also going to trigger a transposer, also bringing back the blaze rods. So there you go. Hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you can get updated with more awesome tutorials. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.